Because I'm muted. That's why. You know what?
So let's start over.
I'm Courtney.
I'm Sean.
We are the queen and king of technical difficulties.
It has been a day.
Yeah.
But shout out Spirit-led paranormal research.
And
what? Did I say something wrong?
Bedford Paranormal.
Oh, Bedford Paranormal.
Yeah,
I forgot we got to say it over. I forgot we had to say it over. We did say it originally.
Michelle.
With the Haunted Apartment on YouTube. Check her out. We follow your...
Yeah, James, I like to hit the mute button just to test to make sure y'all are,
we're trying to make sure y'all focus. We did it on purpose.
No, it has been like the longest Monday on a Tuesday ever in life. Like,
it is. Oh, man.
I'm not even going to go there. I would just rather, start over. No, I don't want to start over. I don't want to start over. I want to just, forget about today.
I just want to go to sleep.
Yes.
Tomorrow's a new day. It has been a day.
Yes. No, Michelle, it's my stupidity. It's not your service, I promise.
Yeah, we just over here, lips moving.
But, guys, so this past weekend, our team... joined by Lost Souls PI.
Shout out Lost Souls.
Yes. My cousin from another family, Emily, and her husband, Chris. We made our way to Virginia Beach. Every investigation I go on, I realize that I am not as young as I once was. Point blank, period. So...
I ain't as good as I
We got up on Saturday. What should have been a 4.5-hour drive without fail, somebody will wreck going in a straight line on the 64 to Virginia Beach.
Listen, Virginia, I'm going to need y'all to learn how to drive, man. You can't be wrecking going straight.
Straight line.
I don't understand how y'all be doing
it.
I'm about to ask this gentleman we have today,
yes.
How the hell do people keep wrecking going? I'm saying this all the time. How are people wrecking going straight? Those of y'all who are watching, if y'all wreck, shout out Jenkins Paranormal. If y'all are wrecking and going straight, I'm gonna need y'all to stop driving.
Just stop.
Quit. Don't drive no more.
Just turn your license in.
I don't know how y'all are doing. Watch me, Lord.
No, don't speak it. We're not putting it in the atmosphere. But okay, Ronnie's giving out free driving lessons to everybody that's heading from point A to point B in a straight line.
I can understand running stoplights, taking curves too sharp. I understand all that defender business, but y'all are wrecking straight on a highway. How?
It's a flow, people. I cannot wait to get onto the 64 or the 81. And that is my opportunity to pretend I am a NASCAR driver.
If I'm offending y'all by saying it's good. Good. I'm glad I offended you.
Hey, Rhonda.
Learn how to drive, people. Damn.
Psychic medium Rhonda Harris in the house.
Hey, Rhonda.
Mama D. All right. So, anyway, what should have been a 4.5-hour drive turned into 6 freaking hours. It was awful. Our playlist went to trap music to death metal. By the time we were stuck in traffic, I was headbanging. I was about to get out and really just get it. Okay. So then
Nirvana.
Finally, we had big plans. We were going to go see the ocean. We were going to enjoy some good seafood. No, we got stuck with Five Guys. That sounds terrible.
You might have got stuck with Five Guys. I got stuck with a burger and fries.
But that's what we got stuck with. They fell off. So now I'm mad.
$50 for
$50
3 burgers.
For 3 burgers and 3 fries. Now I'm just mad. All right. But motivation is there. We then at that point headed to our final destination.
Oh, man, I gotta get
which was
my final destination.
Fairy Plantation.
I'm still alive.
Our final destination that day. So Fairy Plantation.
I'll be right back.
Where are you going now?
Man, my battery's dead.
Daryl Paulette, Bedford Paranormal. Chuck joined us. He is a member of Hill City Paranormal this past weekend. So, fast forwarding. Hey, Leah. So, we get to Fairy Plantation, and that location, I will save it for our social media content that I'm putting together, but does not disappoint.
At all.
It does not disappoint. The house itself, gorgeous. Decor, gorgeous. Wildlife, abundant. like there were these weird birds, and when you're just like tired at like 3 a.m. and these birds roll up on you and rabbits, you're just dying laughing for no reason. But there's never a dull moment when investigating with Lost Souls PI. We had a blast. Thank you to Kristen, who stayed with us. Hey, Carrie. Kristen, who stayed with us, and she is a trooper. She stayed the whole night. I tapped out. Like 3:45, I was done.
Lightweight.
I was done. I was tired.
Lightweight.
At that moment, I found out that sleeping in a Chevy Tahoe is not as comfortable as I thought it was going to be. So that kind of sucked. But after about 30 minutes of broken sleep, I was like, you know what? I'm done. Sean comes out to the car. I'm driving home. How did I get to Virginia Beach in 6.5 hours and home in 3.5? I don't know.
Because all the people who can't drive straight.
But I did it.
You didn't have to sit in this long wreck.
I've got a lot of content that is coming out for you guys because upon reviewing evidence, I think when we broke off into groups, I think almost every single person got some kind of hardcore evidence. So, a lot to put together, a lot for me to
I like that word, hardcore evidence.
Yeah, I'm going to call it hardcore because there was some cool shit that was captured this weekend. Central Virginia Paranormal Society, good evening.
What's up?
Daryl, yes. We will be there. I don't know if you're talking to us or if you're talking to Ronnie. Lost Souls, there they are, Emily. So, I bothered her last night when I came across my one piece of evidence and I just like blew up everybody's video chat. But speaking of content, okay, I don't want to make this gentleman wait. We have tonight joining us live on our show, Jeremy with Beyond the Badge Paranormal. Hashtag content for a cause. Welcome, Jeremy.
Welcome.
Hashtag content for a cause.
See, here I am being proper. I actually spelled it out. Content for a cause. I need to fix that. I need to fix that.
You guys hear me okay? I don't want to have any technical difficulties.
No, you know what? Unmute your thing and you'll be just fine.
I think I am unmuted, Dana.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, good. Hey, earlier I was like, man, I spent 20 minutes trying to make sure this mic worked. And when you guys started up, I was like, no way, man. Like all of a sudden it isn't working. This is crazy.
Hey, Ryan. Freaking Awesome Paranormal Show airs right after ours, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Rift Nation Network. Y'all tune in.
Don't miss it.
Ronnie said, I'll talk to you about it tomorrow. Daryl, this is a private conversation. Spirit Seekers. Hello.
What's up, Spirit Seekers?
Hey, good intro, by the way. You guys had an amazing intro. I enjoyed watching it. It was good.
Thanks. I appreciate it. So the music is from yours truly.
Nice.
Sean Elliott Jr.
I was an artist at one time.
Yes, for those that don't know, all of his music can be found on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. God, what else is out there now? I just use Spotify.
Everything.
Pretty much everything. Sounds on TikTok. So if you guys want to use that song, it's Dig My Grave by Sean Elliott Jr. But without further ado, Jeremy, tell me a little bit about Beyond the Badge, because we met you for the first time at St. Albans, and I was very intrigued by your story.
I got something to say about you.
Oh, here we go.
Before you start.
Something to say about you.
I got something to say about you. I was thinking about it all day. I was like, man.
How handsome am I, right? That's what
we all got our opinions. But what I was going to say
hey, Carl,
was I'm new to the whole Paracon scene. I'm new to the whole teams thing. We've been investigating for 20 years, or probably over 20 years now. So I'm new to the teams thing, and I'll say I met quite a few teams here lately. And usually when you meet teams, they just kind of look at you like you're crazy when you come up to them. They just kind of blow you off. A lot of them do. And that's just my personal experience. I can't speak for everybody else. So don't attack me, y'all. But what I will say was when we came across your team, it was a whole different experience. Now, with that being said, I know how sensitive the paranormal world is, and
we don't do sensitivity around here.
But we don't. We keep everything 100 around here. So when we walked past your table, it was a completely different experience. Talking to you guys was almost like we knew y'all for years. and I want to commend you for that. And I'll tell you to keep being a leader in that, because again, we walk past a lot of teams and we'll stop at their table just to say hi, and they just look at us like, "What the hell are you doing here?" And I'm just like, "Okay, nice to meet you." I keep smiling, keep it moving, but y'all kind of just acted like we knew y'all forever, and I thought that was really cool. I was like, "Well, damn, that's different," you know. So
yeah,
what
it's not a competition. You know? Huh? Yeah, thank you. It's not a competition.
It's not. It's not. Props to you guys for that, man.
And it's not.
Man. Our whole squad was like that.
I am sporting a shirt from EnigmaCons, like now. Like, you know, sure. Dead is not the ends.
Right.
They have a little T-shirt thing going on in the corner.
Hey, look,
definitely fits. Ghosts are real. People are fake.
Yeah, you know, we want to support people, and just as much as we want to be supported. So,
Ronnie, don't start. Don't start, Ronnie.
We're just real blessed, man. And my entire team has the mentality of just being thankful that we have the opportunity to go to EnigmaCons and meet new people. You know, we have a lot of people have stress jobs, but ours is a little unique, and we see the worst in the society a lot of times. And when we get an opportunity to go somewhere like St. Albans and hang out with a bunch of cool people, everyone that comes by that table, we try to have an impact on their lives in a positive way. We don't know what your situation is, right? So, of course, we're specifically targeted towards first responders' mental health, but it's everyone's mental health. So if you come by the table and talk to us, and we have the opportunity to have an influence on you in a positive way, and that influence helps you in whatever you're going through, that's a win for us. So that's the mentality of my group. The reason they're on my team, and the reason that I think that we're, making so many friends, is because it's not a competition, man. We're not out here to be better than you. Or, I don't look at everybody else's videos and think, well, this is a competition. I got to be better than them. We just make our stuff and do our thing and love everyone, and, be thankful to be here. So I wear the Jesus hat for a reason. I want to sort of have that same idea of, loving everybody and stuff. So, but look, the fact that you guys allowed us on here tonight is an absolute blessing as well, because we get to reach out, talk about our platform. And I'm just super thankful for being here. So, and we enjoyed talking to y'all. We've been talking about you guys since then. Jess couldn't be here tonight because she's on a business trip.
We're the crazy ones in the paranormal field, right? So
well, we're going to get to your platform and everything, because we definitely want to talk about it and want to hear it. But one thing y'all touch on too is mental health. That's happens to be the career that I took on and been involved in it for a long time. And I think that a lot of people don't talk about that enough. So another props to you guys, for focusing on that.
And I want to take a second. I know this is a paranormal show, but guys, I said it to your team at EnigmaCons. I will say it loud and proud. As somebody that has struggled for a really long time with my own personal mental health, like, it is a focal point. It really is, or it needs to be if it's not. And, a lot of people don't understand the struggles and the battles that everybody out here goes through daily. And, I think that it's super important to hashtag something like content for cause, because, if every one of us in this chat right now stopped for 2 seconds, just stop and think to yourself, why do I paranormal investigate? 90%, I can almost bank some money on it, will say, I would rather talk to dead people than living people. There is a reason for that, guys. It's because, people out here have the mean girl mentality. They just really do. People in general are just not nice people. And so a lot of people paranormal investigate because they want I'm sure there's other reasons, like sub reasons. Sean, on the other hand, he's one of those that he's into the science and stuff like that. Me, I am absolutely 100%, friends with ghosts. I will say that. I love talking to spirits, interacting in any way possible, because I don't, at that moment, have to put on a show or keep a guard up. And I just think that a lot of us out there need to just stop and just be nice. Like, just be nice, because you don't know what the next person's going through. You really don't. And it's my understanding that your guys' team is every one of you is in some way, shape, or form, like you said, a first responder, whether you're a police officer, a fire department, EMT, whatever. I personally work in healthcare, so that caught my attention immediately. I've always been in healthcare and stuff like that. Then the secondary part that caught our attention was the mental health piece, because both of us also work in the mental health field. So Sean has way more experience in the mental health field as far as like career wise goes. I think I've got him beat on the like personal mental health part, because it's not a secret I'm crazy as hell. But you know, it really does intrigue me, and I'd like to learn more. Emily said mental health has such a stigma, so it's great to have people who will bring it to light and want to help others and educate others. Paranormal investigations get me away from people that are living, so I do it as often as I can.
Amen.
Yes, James. Yes. So yeah, I don't want to take away any time, because I know you have like a lot to say. I want to know about Beyond the Badge. I want everybody else to learn like what got you guys into this, why, who you are, etc.
Sure. I love talking. If you guys didn't know that already when you met me at EnigmaCons, I don't shut up. So because it's a passion for me. This whole group is actually a passion for me. So you're correct. Everyone on the team's a first responder. So I got 20 years on the fire service in the city of Newport News. We got 3 or 4 firemen. We got a police officer, Chris Scallion, who runs Trauma Behind the Badge, which is an amazing organization that travels the country, provides resources and trainings to fire departments, police departments, the FBI, all those folks. So he provides mental health resources and training. And of course, our charity partner, Survive First, is out of Cocoa Beach, Florida. They provide all the mental health resources for actual therapeutic resources. So between the two of those and us, we call ourselves a mental health army. We're more so like just social media stuff along with them. Anyway, so I'll give you a real quick rundown of how the group started. I've obviously loved paranormal stuff my entire life. I got a little bit older and decided I needed a hobby, and started the group. And then shortly after starting the group, I wanted the group to be just first responders, by the way, from the beginning, but it never was a mental health group. It was a, hey, my buddies from the firehouse kind of thing. But then shortly after starting the group, I went through a mental health crisis. I call it my near-death experience in mental health. And I hit a real dark spot, a real low spot. My marriage was failing. My wife and I had temporarily split up. I was living in the camper. I mean, everything you can think of, right? And so I hit a real low spot. And not to get into details, but through the grace of God and friends and support staff and therapy and meds, I pulled out of it. And then when I came out of that, we decided, you know what, man? I looked at some of the guys on the team and I said, I'm supposed to be here. And I can't waste the time now that I have. And I'm seeing a lot clearer now. So why don't we take this thing we call Beyond the Badge Paranormal, which is what our initial group was, and let's turn it into a mental health advocacy group. So let's do the paranormal shit like we always do. Let's go to investigate. Let's make videos, whether they're good or bad, it doesn't matter. But then every time we make a video or every social media that we do, let's do it for a reason, for a cause. Let's try to reach out to catch somebody that needs a lifeline. Shortly after that, I reached out to Survive First and said, hey, I don't have any money. I'm probably never going to get more than 1,000 subscribers or 100 views, but I would love to take your logo and just stick it on whatever I got media-wise. And so they were totally on board with that. And then I got hooked in with Trauma Behind the Badge and those guys. So their logos on a lot of our stuff. And then that's just where we've kind of come. It's been about a year and a half now, so we're still super young. We're just babies in this paranormal field. I got less experience than you do at Paracons, so I don't know what I'm doing really. And then that's kind of how it's going, man. We're just really focused on our mission. We had another big blessing happen in January where I reached out to Ghost Augustine, Ghost Hunters Equipment, and I said, hey, I don't have a lot of subscribers or views, but we do need a sponsor. Would you be willing to help us a little? And being a small company and caring about local people, they said, yeah, sure, we'll help you out. So, which is surprising. And so as long as that lasts, I don't know how long that'll last, but hopefully for a while. They've been helping us by sending us gear to raffle off and to use to get to other events to talk about mental health and to raise money to donate to charity. So what a blessing they are. That's where we stand right now. We're the main goal for the group is to make videos and to have a good time, but also to make it to events to speak about mental health. Our big goal is to be invited to as many Paracons as possible to speak about the mental health stigma. That's it really. That's it in a nutshell.
So speaking of Ghosts of St. Augustine, you and I were kind of chatting back and forth, and I apologize for my delay today. Again, I work in healthcare and a very high-paced environment, and so I try to respond really quick. But you have a little something for everybody that's in here tonight, right?
I do, yeah, absolutely. So Ghost Augustine has agreed to give us a discount code for everyone to give out, basically to say thanks. So you get a little discount code. I sent it to your messenger, but I can share it or give it out either way. It doesn't matter how we do it. But there's a discount code for everybody that logged in tonight. I wanted to make sure that they had that discount code. So when you go there at the Ghost Augustine or ghosthuntersequipment.com, you can use that code when you check out, and you should get a discount on what you purchase. If you plan on buying, if anybody out there is planning on buying anything from Ghost Hunters Equipment, grab the QR code I sent you as well. If you can share that. If not, I can share it, I guess. What's really amazing, this organization, this company has decided to make a donation every time somebody buys from their Paraforce line, as long as people scan the QR code. So there's a QR code specifically that takes it to an affiliate link, and they'd make a donation for every purchase. So they really are kind of doing some pretty cool stuff, and it's all for a good cause. We just want to save people's lives and make a difference. Even if we are a small group, we're trying to make a difference. So I say now, small, we're getting a lot of friends, so things are happening kind of quick. But
now, who is Ghost of St. Augustine for those that
okay, so Ghost Hunters Equipment. So Ghost Hunters Equipment by Ghost Augustine is a paranormal equipment company. Ghost Augustine does a lot of ghost tours and things in St. Augustine. So they're known for that. They have a paranormal equipment company. They make equipment. So if you've got a spirit box, a lot of people have the SB7 and all those. Those are from Ghost Hunters Equipment. By Ghost Augustine. That's the equipment that they use. It's a pretty well-known company. I would be willing to guarantee that if everyone looked through their stash, they have at least a tool from that company. There's two main companies out there. You got the big ones, Ghost Stop and Ghost Hunters Equipment. They're both very good companies.
I posted that discount code in the chat for everybody that's interested. Jeremy, I don't know if you can see the comments, but Crystal with Ghost Hunting Housewives, she would love to chat with you.
I love it.
She herself has a pretty amazing story, and I think has some things coming up that you could definitely participate. I do know that I could absolutely put Beyond the Badge on to an upcoming Paracon that we will be. I knew Ronnie was coming with it. All hail. Oh hell.
Yeah, so I have just to throw it out there, Ghost Augustine or Ghost Hunters Equipment they do sponsor us, but I'm not required to only have that equipment. I mean, if you look through my stash, I got all kinds of things from all different places.
Right.
So I'm not saying that one is better than the other or whatever. I'm just telling you these guys have helped us out. And, if Ghost Stop said, hey, we want to help too, I would say, sure, come on. We're a big family. Let's all just work together.
Hey, if you get them to help you out, let me know what the secret is.
Yeah. I don't know if that's gonna happen. But the big point is I want to make sure that they realize that there's a way to get money donated, and there's a way that people can get a discount. And what a blessing that is, right? I mean, we don't have to do anything. You're gonna buy it anyway.
Everybody right now that's in this chat can stand to use a discount code for any piece of equipment. All right. Yeah. I don't care if I'm saving $5 or $100.
I don't care if you're saving $1.
Okay with it.
Hey, listen. So everyone who's feeling super generous, I came up with this idea a month or two ago called the Hero Club. I think we may have talked about it at the event. Yeah.
I was going to get there. Go for it.
Yeah, Heroes Club is this incredibly easy way to make a donation every month to Survive First, and it's such a small amount. I mean, I guarantee if you reach your hand in your couch right now, you probably find the exact amount of money. I know I spent about 10 times this today on coffee alone. The Hero Club, if you go to our website, beyondthebadgeparanormal.com, you see something called the Hero Club, and what it is, it's $5.99 plus tax. 100% goes to Survive First. It's automatically taken out, and we just wanted to create some sort of club that people could say, yeah, I want to sign up for this membership. And that money 100% gets donated. Along with that, you get early access to any videos we make. You get access now. You get access to that discount code you got tonight. And that's the reason you're getting it tonight is because it was a special thing to be on here. We're creating a merch shop as well from Beyond the Badge Paranormal. There's going to be a discount code for that. We're going to do monthly drawings for free stuff that we're going to send out once we get a certain amount of subscribers. If there's only one, I can't just send that person out stuff every month. That'd be fun. But my vision, my vision and goal for this club is to get 20, 30, 40, 50 people become a member. And then every month I can take the money and make a huge donation to Survive First. And the fact that Survive First, they're such an amazing organization. They're 100% donation based, and even $10 or $20 will help provide therapeutic help for 1 to 2 sessions for a first responder. And
okay, so what is the website?
That, right?
What is the website? What is your website?
So beyondthebadgeparanormal.com. Super simple. Yeah.
Everybody stop. Grab your phones. Beyondthebadgeparanormal.com. Go sign up for the Hero Club. I don't know about y'all, but I spend a ridiculous amount of money in Starbucks, so I can afford $5.99 to the Hero Club. Okay.
We actually made a $20 donation at the beginning of the month, which was just from that. And I joined the club myself. I said, I'm gonna lead from the front. So I joined, another guy on my team joined, and a couple more people joined. So I'm like, there you go, man. At least we made something happen. So
Lost Souls just commented they signed up after EnigmaCons.
Awesome. Yep. So we got them. Yeah, it's just a easy way to make a difference. My heart would be super warmed inside if I was able to take this chunk of money every month and tell Survive First, here, we really love you. We care. Thank you for what you do. So, yeah. Awesome.
And for those that don't know, people that are on the front lines a lot of the time, I've actually been asked this question recently is how come so much focus is on the mental health well-being for those that are on the front lines? And I was able to confidently answer this question, and I hope that I do your line of work some justice. But those that are on the front lines, guys, and this goes for police, firefighters, EMTs, military, anybody that is on the front lines that is out there, whenever those tornadoes touch down, first people out there, first responders. That's why they're called first responders. Okay. They see the good, the bad, and every ounce of the ugly. We see what the media allows us to see. Okay.
Which ain't half
so
of the bad.
Isn't half of what is actually going on. For those that don't know, and prayers for Kentucky, a tornado ripped out, down a couple days ago. It was a mass casualty event. The first responders were right there. They were finding the bodies, the people that, were ripped away from their homes, the, just horrible things that they have to see on a daily basis will absolutely 1000% take a toll on somebody's mental health. I don't care how strong, tough, how big, bad you think you are. It will take a toll. You can't. I've spoken personally to people who are coming home from the military. Almost, I'm going to put a high number of 99.9% of people coming home from the military who are retired police officers, detectives, firefighters, things like that, will almost always tell me they suffer from some form of PTSD.
Yeah. Hey, scary fact. Every 3 days, a first responder takes their own life. So that means today is Tuesday, right? So by Friday, we're going to lose another one. So we just gotta. I mean, that's a hell of a statistic, right? So
yeah,
it's unfortunate as well. So we just gotta keep at it. We got to keep fighting.
Yeah.
That's all we can do. I mean,
Jessica, I will send you their graphic, and I'll go ahead and post the QR code after the show as well on our page. Jessica has a team, a newly formed team. Welcome to the paranormal world.
Welcome. Jinkies Paranormal.
Yes, Jinkies Paranormal. Y'all go give them a like and follow. I absolutely love the name. Huge Scooby-Doo fan. So, I love it. But yes, guys, go sign up for the Hero Club.
I feel like this sounds like a telethon, like bling bling.
You know what? It does. Everybody pick up the phone. I can do it.
I don't want to make everybody feel like they need to have money tonight. I mean, I'm just trying to make a difference,
Yeah, no, I'm not. Look, I'm not selling to anybody in here. I'm going to get to the paranormal piece. I'm
selling to everybody in here. Because I'll tell you what, I think it's very serious that people understand. My dad had a joke. My mom is more into the paranormal. She'll talk to me for hours about my investigations and what I've seen and experienced on the paranormal. My dad, not so much, but he always has a joke, and it's funny, but it makes sense. He says, yeah, you out there playing with them ghosts until you see one for real, then what you gonna do? And I know that you're like, where are you going with this? But think about it. People talk about mental health and they talk about it, but until you experience this stuff, until you actually see a dead body, until you walk up on somebody that's been mangled, until you see families crying because they lost somebody, until you see a car accident and the after effects, and you're rescuing somebody and you're having to perform CPR to save that person's life, you have no idea what kind of toll it takes on somebody. And, I've had to deal with a lot of these situations myself. And, this is something that people aren't really aware of, that people see it on TV and on the news. Another body found, another dead body. Who found that body? Who was the first person on the scene of that fatal car accident you saw on the news? That person has to go home and see that image every day of their life.
Who pulls the person out of the water after an accident? Right. In the DC plane crash and helicopter crash, those are first responders that had to get those bodies out. So
check this out. To go even deeper, and this is a personal story about me. I wanted to be a 911 operator. This was something I wanted to do when I was 19, 20 years old. I applied for the job. How I passed the psychological exam, I don't know. But I did. I got all the way through it. And then they gave me my mock call. And I declined the job. My mock call, guys, was my two-year-old child was found unresponsive. My 2-year-old child was found unresponsive, was the mock call that I had to take. And I could not do it. And I'm ashamed to say I could not do it, but those that can, my hat goes off to you, because when you get the call and you say 911, what is your address or location, and they give you your own personal address, panic sets in. Then it's just like it's hard to control. So there's a whole lot more that goes into first responders that goes on behind the scenes that we don't see. But I do have like a question that's paranormal related. I do. I want to know how you got into the paranormal and how that helps your mental health now.
Sure. So from a very young age, the house I lived in, weird shit would happen. Water would turn on by itself. There'd be banging on the walls. My mom was a believer, and she just always told me, well, just tell it to go away or whatever. And I'm like a little kid, so by myself in the house at 10 years old, I'm walking around talking to ghosts, terrified. But as I grew up and these shows started to show up on TV, the old ones, the originals, all the Sci-Fi Channel and stuff, I started watching them. I'm like, oh man, these are amazing. And
you started talking to them like that.
Yeah, I tried to do all that stuff, so I would find myself in the woods with a friend of mine at night trying to find ghosts and graves and stuff. So always been a little strange like that. And then, I had kids, and my kids have been watching ghost shows since they were 2 years old. That's all, they love it. So I told them a long time ago that when I got old enough, had enough money, I'm going to start my own team, and I'm doing this stuff. And they always said, sure, Dad, yeah, whatever. And then it just got to a point where it actually happened. Now, how it helps how it helps the paranormal helps the mental health. I'll tell you, there's a few things that how this works. So I can experience the adrenaline of being afraid and the unknown and all that without the burden and the duty, of the duty, like the that pressure that I feel when I'm on a call. It's not the same. So I get that same adrenaline, but it's not the duty that's doing it. It's the thing I'm enjoying to do. So that's a really interesting thing. I've been in 20 years. I've kind of become numb to a lot of things. And so when I'm walking down a dark hallway, I can feel my body again, I can feel that adrenaline. And even now I noticed the last 5 years, maybe in my career, when I'm on my way to a call and say it's a cardiac arrest or a bad accident where, there's many victims and people have been thrown out and all that terrible stuff. I'm kind of numb at this point. I've seen everything I can imagine. I've seen all kinds of horrible things. My heart rate doesn't go up anymore. I'm more of a little more docile, sort of like, all right, here we go. Let's just get through it's just a job, But then the one thing I will tell you that I've noticed a change is I used to be able to do that call when I was a lot younger and just move right on with it. Now I have there's a lot of after effects. I don't show anybody this usually, but there's times where I have to go and be by myself. There's tears. There's a high anxiety. My heart rate will go up later. I don't sleep. I run the calls through my head 1,000 times. I see the victims repeatedly at night. I'm not talking about the ghost. I'm talking about just pictures of what I saw. But when I'm ghost hunting, none of that is there. None of it at all. And that's why I think we love it so much, is because we're not thinking about the job. We're thinking about this thing we're doing. And also it's camaraderie. It's, we're there having fun as a family and friends, and we're having fellowship, and we're not talking about the stuff that bothers us mostly. And then of course for us, because we're doing something like what we're doing about mental health, it's a whole different aspect for us. Most paranormal teams have paranormal team. They go out, they ghost hunt, they may or may not make videos, and they move on. We have an entire element that most people don't have, where I have two focuses, I edit the videos, but I also push the social media for mental health as well. So just this past weekend, we went up to Pennhurst, and most people went up to Pennhurst to meet all the celebrities and walk around and buy stuff, right? Well, we're different. We went up there with a camera and we tried to record and get hashtag thank yous to first responders for the entire weekend that we were there. So I got all the celebrities in one tent to agree to give a video message to first responder. I mean, we worked. That's our job. That's our thing. So my team went up there and we worked. It's a job. We made it a job. Like, hey, we're going to get mental health messages and try to share it. So that'll be coming out soon. I got a whole video. I got 18 messages from people telling people they love them and they're so glad they're there. So for us, that was our mission. I left there tired, like I had been working all weekend because I really have. I know that's a long answer to your story, or your question, but that's how paranormal helps my mental state.
Right.
It's my therapy, really.
Now, Ronnie asked, do you incorporate or how do you incorporate paranormal with the mental health?
Yeah, sure. We can relate a lot when it comes to trauma. We also have been, unfortunately, because of what we do, we've been a part of the aftermath of some serious trauma. And so when we're communicating with spirits that have been involved in some tragic incident, there's a bit of understanding of what it might have been like immediately following the incident, what it might have occurred during the incident. And so when we talk to them, we can, kind of say, hey, look, we can understand that this is what happened. And maybe we can kind of help them a little bit along the way. I know for me personally, being a fireman and a paramedic for 20 years in the city, I've probably been on 1,000 cardiac arrests. The large portion of those people don't make it. And so I have stood in a room with someone who's passed on hundreds of times by myself just to have a moment of silence and a prayer. And I know that person and that person's ghost and soul is standing next to me. Confused, lost, scared, and they're looking at me because I just had my hands all over them doing all kinds of stuff, and they're looking at me like, what happened to me? And so I have this conversation at every cardiac arrest, like, hey, look, you've passed on. Your family loves you. You haven't done anything wrong. This is, I know you're scared. And I try to help them, so when I'm on a ghost hunt, I can kind of do the same thing. Like,
right.
And we have Jessica too. She's our psychic medium, and she's growing so much in her abilities. She's been doing really well to be able to connect to these spirits as well. So yeah, there's a lot of empathy and stuff that comes from us just from what we do on a regular basis.
Are we like blurry? Is our camera blurry, guys?
I mean, yeah, but that's okay.
I was gonna say, so it only happens when something.
I don't know. Maybe something got in front of it.
Yeah, see, it only happens when something passes the camera, which is weird.
I wonder if a ghost had put their face up just to look like, oh, what's going on? Yeah.
Maybe.
Anything's possible.
Welcome to the podcast. Ronnie wants to know, have you experienced, and I asked you this question because there was a viral video that was going around of a car wreck, and there was an officer standing back and his body cam footage was posted of a soul leaving the body at a car wreck. So I had asked you, I remember at EnigmaCons, have you ever experienced any paranormal activity while on a call?
So I've never seen the actual person leave their body, but many times standing in that room by myself, and it's purposely done. I stand there by myself. One, I want to be respectful and help, but also I'm into that kind of spiritual stuff. I really want to help. Anyway, so there's many times that I've stood there and felt the room get a little colder. The energy in the room, stuff like that. So me personally, I've had those experiences where the electricity in the room, it feels like a charge. I think because we are into the paranormal, we're tuned into it, and we're into that kind of stuff, that we sense that, but more than most. Nobody else on my crew will even think about that. They're too busy doing other things. But as I'm standing there, I can feel the hair on my arm stand up out of nowhere. I haven't been touched or heard anything or anything like that, but definitely felt the energy change.
Yeah. So Eddie and Jen said, mental health is a real thing. It pains me to say, but through the years, I've gotten used to pain because I've been married ... 3 times.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it.
He said he was just trying to get everybody to smile. So
I've been smiling the whole time, so it's fine.
Absolutely. Whenever I talk about paranormal, I smile, guys. Why? Because with every podcast that we do, I learn something new.
Yeah.
Like I really do. From every guest that we have on our show, from every podcast period, whether I have a guest or not. You guys in the comments, always keep me on my toes and keep me thinking. So, but this one right here, I've been looking forward to. I know I keep talking about the mental health piece, but
yeah.
Oh Lord, been married 3 times, divorced twice, and widowed once.
Is this a thing with paranormal, man? Maybe divorce rates are high, all this time we spend in the dark with strangers and stuff. So
yeah.
Mental health.
Yeah. It was the damn widget now it's a widget. Wait a minute. I thought it was a wedgie that passed by the screen. Ronnie, I am a nerd. I am so a nerd. Like
I'm the nerd, Ronnie. She's the cool kid.
No. I'm not a cool kid. Maybe I am.
You make fun of my Dharma glasses.
Oh my God.
I thought they looked cool, man. I mean,
she makes fun of my glasses all the time.
Well, that's all right.
Look, I don't make fun of anybody that wears glasses. So I never thought that I would wear them or need them. And then I hit my age and now I have to go get annual eye exams. So I don't make fun of anybody that wears glasses, guys, because
I got a complex. I don't even wear them all the time. It's you.
Y'all's visits to the little doctor are not going to be scribed properly if I don't wear them.
Yep. That's right.
But so where is do you guys have any upcoming investigations or what's the agenda?
So we're trying to set some stuff up for later in the year, but we got ourselves kind of caught in this Paracon thing. So we fortunately and unfortunately, the Paracons are taking up a lot of our time because we've been making so many friends and getting invited to so many events that we can't find time to investigate. And I'm not mad about it. Look, that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're going to be at the Cabacon. It's like a paranormal there. We're going to be there are guest speakers there. And we have a booth there. We're going to be at Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. We're speaking there at the round table, mental health round table. We have a booth there. We're supposed to head out to Indiana to do an event out there, and then there's some other event I think we were supposed to go to, but hopefully I can figure out which one that is. And any other event that pops up,
I'm going to put you on to a gentleman that's putting together one in Pennsylvania for August.
And I'm doing the Creeping It Real one next month in June.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, okay, so same people. They're putting on one in August, and he reached out to me and he's like, do you know anybody? And I sent him a list, and now I'm going to add you to that list.
Yeah, and have an opportunity to speak on what our cause is a blessing. So that'd be cool. Yeah. But that's why we're not doing too many investigations. We just put out a video from the Doss house, which I thought was pretty good and also a little silly. The Doss house was really cool. We didn't have the most active. Yeah, we didn't have the most active night, but that's how it goes. You're not always going to have crazy stuff happening. I was the craziest part there. So
story of my life.
I was delusional. It was a long drive. So what does this say? Recently deceased spirit attached to you on a call. Oh yeah, absolutely. Way back in the day, a year and a half ago, we were in some place called the Old House Woods in Matthews County, Virginia, right? And when we were out there, now granted, this is literally the first video we ever made. It's horrible, but while I was standing out in the woods, I felt the charge run up on my back, and then Jess was like, there's some kind of like really powerful like leadership kind of guy looking at you because you're the leader of our group. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm cool with that, that's fine, whatever. And then we went along that night, and he was still kind of following me around, and then I went home the next day, And I was standing in my yard at like 11:30 at night, and my garage door flung open, and then it shut really hard, and the wind wasn't blowing. And I was like, I have some creepy shit there, but I'm not going to tell anybody because my wife promised me that if I would bring anything home, I would be living in the garage. So I let that one kind of go underneath the table there. Anyhow, the next day at the firehouse, I get an email or I get a message from Jess, our psychic medium, that says, hey, I got a vision of something happening near your garage last night. And I'm like, well, that's creepy because I haven't told you anything yet. And then no shit, a couple minutes later, I got a message on Facebook Messenger from a lady from Matthews County saying that her friend had took his own life out there and it was him. And so I was like, this is too much, like right away. And then for like 4 episodes, 4 videos that we made after that, he would show up. You would hear him say his name, or we would ask, what's your name? And it was his name every time. And so I think he's moved on now, but for a while he was there. And one of the problems is I didn't tell him to go. I was like, yo, man, you can hang out in the garage. There's a beer fridge out there. I'm cool with that. Just don't scare my kids, but hang out, man, like whatever. And he did. He took me up on my offer for a little while, but so.
Was there any beer missing?
I wouldn't have been able to tell you at that time because I was drinking just as much. So I might have been confused about how much beer was in there anyway. I've cut back tremendously. It's not great for my mental health. So, but yeah, it was good times.
Yeah,
Thanks.
that's
Thanks,
I do find a lot of the time if we accidentally have some hitchhikers that come home, I do find myself saying quite often, like, look, I don't mind that you're here, just don't like disturb the peace type deal. But you brought up a good point there because we're literally giving them permission to stay and they really don't have that, for a long time when we first moved into our house, and everybody already knows we inadvertently bought a haunted house where the guy had passed 3 months before we closed. We had no idea until the neighbor told us on like the day we moved in. So for a while there, I was just like, hey, I'm okay with you being here. We can cohabitate together. Just don't, disturb us, I guess. And then it just got to be a little bit too much. And I had to ask him to please move on, and explain to him, hey, your kids moved up the road and this is where they're at. You can go hang out with them. And we even posted a video on our TikTok, and I had his ex-wife send me a message and say, hey, so that's definitely him. I am more than happy to drive by, open my door, and tell him to get in the car with me. And I was like, this is weird, but okay, if you want to come get your ex-husband, that would be great. And after that message, the funny thing is I have not had any noise out of him. So my cameras did not picking him up, but I'm thinking that's might have been what happened. But it's okay to say to the spirits like, hey, you can hang out for a little while but not permanently. But I think we need to keep and be very mindful that you are welcoming at that point.
You want me to tell you a super scary story?
Yes.
All right, listen, this one give you chills, okay?
Flashlight.
Yeah, this one's scary as shit. So like this will keep you up at night. So
stories with Jeremy.
Yes, very scary stories. So listen, we went to the Cabin 360. We made a video called House of Evil, right? But that's the Cabin 360. Yeah, really, really, really nasty place sometimes. A great location, by the way.
Yeah.
Go investigate. You're gonna get a ton of action. Yeah, really good. But one of the first times we were there, we were talking. We were at the place and we were having a conversation with Melissa, and we had sang "Jesus Loves You" to her. Okay, and we did that episode, and that next day, my daughter. Now, granted, we were at the cabin until about 3 o'clock in the morning. My daughter, who wasn't with us, came to me that morning and said, "Hey, I had a really horrible nightmare last night." And I'm like, "Really?" And she said, "Yeah, it's really weird." Now, I hadn't told her a single thing about what we did. I didn't tell her about Jesus Love Me or song or anything. She says, "Dad, I had this crazy dream that there was some sort of creature like demon or something in the house, and it was chasing her little sisters around. So she brought her sisters into her room, shut her door, and they hid in the corner. And on the outside of the door, it was scratching at the door, singing 'Jesus Loves Me' in like a mocking way." And now I hadn't told her shit, man. So I'm like, "Are you serious?" And she was dead serious, right? Like her kryptonite is she can't lie. So like she's literally serious. And it was the scariest thing I've ever experienced. And we know from the Cabin 360 that whatever's down there is a malicious son of a gun, right? And it was trying to get to my kids. And every time I've been there, she has a nightmare. So it's trying to affect her. But yeah, one of the creepiest things that's ever happened to me. Chills ran down my back. I was pissed off. I wanted to go back to the cabin and like,
it made you want to go back to the cabin.
Yeah, that's my daughter, man.
To the basement.
But it's a scary place. So really, really scary moment.
Yeah, we've been there a handful of times.
Speaking of singing, our music box was singing.
We got an EVP of Melissa singing London Bridges.
Oh, wow.
Which was kind of cool. That's on my TikTok. But
did you hear the voice that we got from her where she screamed, "Please help"? Did you hear that one?
I did. I did. And the crazy thing is we went a couple weekends after you guys were there. Yeah. And on the spirit box, we got a small, or I don't know if it was small, but a childlike female voice screaming help.
So
and
I got my own theory.
Kind of emotion.
I got my own theory about that whole place, really. I think that there's two things happening there with Melissa. I think there's her residual and her intelligent. And so we catch her residual a lot, because if you're there a long time during the day and night, you hear the same things at the same time. It's always help, please help. You hear those things all the time. That's just her residual replaying. Yeah. But if you interact with her in a certain way, you'll get intelligent responses. She'll play with different things, cat balls and stuff. You know the deal. You've been there. So you're dealing with two different things. We've caught both, and so have you, I'm sure. So it's a place, man. I tell you what, bud. Whew.
But I mean, I will say about the basement, the first time we went, some strange things happened. We had a team member that was affected physically. She got scratched in the basement, like 3 cat-like thin scratches. Yeah. And the first thing I did, being me, is I grabbed her hands. I want to see your nails. I want to know if you were maybe scratching. And she is at the time she was a landscaper, and she had no nails, none. Like they were down to like the nubs, like, cause she's constantly in dirt and ground. And so she didn't scratch herself. And I didn't scratch her. I was sitting across the room, like, and the way that they were, they were so thin that I even tried to like place my fingers to where, and my fingers were too big for these scratches. And there was a lot of shadow figures that were going on the first time, just weird shit in the basement. Yeah. The second time we went back, I could have literally slept down there.
Yeah, yeah. The energy does change sometimes.
Yeah, down there, it was very weird.
It got worse for us once we did the House of Evil. Once I brought the Bible down there and provoked it, it got worse for a while, and then it got a little better. I mean, it was definitely pissed off at me, which I don't really, I'm not promoting doing that. I'm not telling anybody to do that. I shouldn't have probably done that, but we were in the middle of a situation. There was a lot of things going on, and I do stupid stuff all the time. So,
anybody in here that says they haven't done stupid shit on an investigation is full of shit. I said it. Ronnie, we did solos in the basement in the Brick Rancher. Angie was having a conversation with someone or something and didn't realize what she was saying after pulling her out. That's very common at the cabin. I do remember just plain as day, our very first tour, what was said
during the tour,
the disclaimer that they gave in the basement to watch your team.
Yeah, watch your team. Yeah.
Well, whoever's not the most, whatever's religion is the weakest, right? I know he tells us that all the time too. Whoever's got the least strongest religious, belief is going to be the one it goes after.
I'm from Wyoming.
I didn't hear that one. And the crazy thing is I'm gonna have to publicly disagree on that.
I'm just telling you what I was told.
Just for personal, like only because it was interacting more, and I'm calling it an it because we don't know what it is, right? It was interacting more with one of the team members that we have that I know has some of the strongest faith.
Oh yeah, I mean, if it's
it was demonic, not interacting positively, I will say that.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's going to test your faith, right? So,
yeah. So it was a lot of like FUs and the N word, quite a bit. So
I mean, we had a video where you see one of the investigators say like introducing the crew, and then it says everybody's name and stuff, and then you can hear, if you ever get a chance to listen to the video that we did where we're down there as a team, and one of the firemen is like, "Hey, my name is Joshua Cross. This is Chris Jones. There's Randy and Jessica," and he said, and we got Jeremy, and you hear him say, "Hi," and then you hear Jeremy, and then it says the name of an investigator that wasn't there, which is really creepy. Lisette, which is a female firefighter. She wasn't even there. And then it says, no, not Lisette, very clearly. And so it says, oh, she's not here. And then it says, Chris Jones, Josh, Cross, Jones. Yep. And Jones is the atheist in the group. So almost immediately after that, Jones started having chest pains. He was like, there was voices on the spirit box that was saying like, we're behind you. I mean, it was a lot of shit going on. We had to pull him out of there. So look, I'm no expert on any of this stuff.
Right. Nobody is.
I don't have a clue what's going on. I just go along for the ride. And, but that place can definitely be scary. That's for sure.
Yeah, none of us are experts in this field. We say that all the time. Like, I am constantly, it doesn't matter how many years I've been doing this. Sean preaches this all the time. Like, we are not, there are no experts in this field. Like, that word doesn't even need to go next to paranormal investigator at all. Because every single investigation that I've been on, there we go. Ronnie, who's got a resume 10 miles long in paranormal investigating, there are no experts. Like, I always learn something or learn a new technique.
That's one reason why we have a podcast. A lot of people have it for multiple reasons. Yep. We have it to grow and learn ourselves, and so everyone else can grow and learn. What's up, my man Terry?
Yep.
NSPS TV out of Texas.
Go plug in. Send Beyond the Badge Paranormal a message. They've got a really good. I don't want to call it a
Terry
hashtag.
Has a podcast.
Cause. Thank you.
Himself. And
out of Texas.
He's got a great show out of Texas.
Great following. Yeah, good show right there.
Texas. Texas is awesome.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
He was our first podcast interview.
Yeah, he was
he interviewed us.
That's awesome.
Yep. We're all learning from each other. Ronnie said, hell, I learned from this podcast. Ronnie, I learned from this podcast.
Yeah, we learned from this podcast. I'm going to be honest with you. Most of the stuff I've learned came from people that's in the chat.
Bam. What Eddie and Jen just said. Mic drop. You only become an expert when you actually pass. Then you tell us what you see.
And I've said that a bunch of times. People ask me questions, and I tell them that we'll all find out one day. But until then, we don't know.
That's right.
Yeah. You have no idea.
Yeah, when I pass, I'm gonna haunt Yankees fans because I'm a Mets fan.
What?
Oh no!
All right, this podcast is over.
Oh,
where's the end button at in live stream?
Wait a minute. Who's your favorite football team?
Football. I'm a Texans fan.
That's not
all right,
bad.
We're not mad about that.
It's not bad.
You weren't expecting Texans, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Texas is great. Wrong team in Texas, though.
Yeah.
Well, I don't actually watch that much football, but my daughter loves the Texans when she was little, so we watch them. But I'm a Mets fan, man. Like right now, the Mets are getting beat, and they're on my right side over here. It's like on the screen, and I keep peeking over, like, damn it, the Boston Red Sox are beating us.
That's
I
right,
know
bro.
there's a lot of Yankee fans out there. Y'all won the Subway Series, all right? I give it to you this time. It's fine.
Bears.
But anyway, I'm gonna haunt the Yankees fans.
Daryl said he Yankees and then Pittsburgh.
Oh my!
Eddie and Jen are.
What have I started?
Okay, yeah, Eddie and Jen are in Texas too.
What have I started?
I gotta know, since you're in Texas, what's your favorite football team? Noah is a big Texans fan.
There you go.
I'm gonna tell you what.
All my exes
football
live in
season's
Texas.
coming up.
That's right.
And it is war. We are yelling at the TV. I'm 90% sure 911 gets called during football season up in here.
Yeah. There's a lot of heart attacks, people's stress levels go through the roof.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. Like there's been okay. All right, we got Red Sox in Dallas.
I respect the Red Sox. They have a
You
lot of
need to
history.
lose that first team,
Yeah.
Emily. We're going to lose the Red Sox, but Dallas all the way.
I actually don't like baseball. I said it. But if I had to pick a baseball team, it would probably be the Yankees. Yeah.
Greatest team in history. Come on now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they're not historic.
By Jeremy. So, Jeremy, before we wrap this up, where can everybody find you on social media? I know you gave your website again, but one more time for kind of those that tuned in late.
Sure. Yeah, I can give it all out again. I don't mind at all. So we have a YouTube channel that we started. It's growing. So it's Beyond the Badge Paranormal on YouTube. We have beyondthebadgeparanormal.com. You can go. That's our website. I think you'll like it. It's got a lot of cool pictures. There's evidence that we've caught last year. And there's a spot on there that you'll see where it says Hero Club if you want to join. Don't feel obligated, but if you do, we'd really love it. But there's also a place you can go on there under the menu. It says Mission. When you click that Mission button, you're going to see everything that is Survive First and all of what our mission actually is. And one thing you'll notice on our webpage, every single page of our website has a spot where you can click Get Help Now. We don't know if you're going to make it to the next page. I didn't want you to never get to that button. So it's on every page, Get Help Now. And so you can get help immediately. So go to the website, beyondthebadgeparanormal.com. And then we have the other social media stuff. I'm still trying to figure out how to do everything. We have Facebook. Somehow I have two Facebook accounts. So either one, you send me something, I'll probably get it. I'm working on learning Instagram. We have a TikTok channel. You can see us pretty much everywhere. I'm super small, so you can always message me. I'll respond.
So really quick, I want to touch on that. You said that there is a Get Help Now button on every page on your website. If somebody is experiencing a mental health crisis, do they have to be a first responder in order to click that Get Help button?
Nope. Our team is made up of first responders, and our mission is to raise awareness about first responder mental health. But like I've told people all over the place, everyone is important to me. And if we come across somebody on our channel that's not a first responder, but they need help and they reach out, we're going to get them help as well. Those Get Help buttons that they click on our webpage take them to 988, which is the help for everyone.
Good.
Because that's the quickest way to get help. Survive First will get you help, but it takes 24 hours because they have to process the application. 988 is an immediate. You dial or text 988, you're going to get somebody on the phone immediately, and they can get you help immediately. So
I love it.
Anyone can get help. Yep.
Outstanding.
I love it.
Yeah. Good times.
Jessica, I've loved this podcast. Thanks, Court and Sean, for introducing us to Jeremy and this cause. Yes, Jessica, definitely. If you didn't hear him, he does have a Hero Club on his website, and anybody that might potentially be experiencing any sort of mental health crisis, need somebody to talk to, don't feel like you're ever alone. 988 or go to beyondthebadgeparanormal.com and click on Get Help Now.
That's right. You're not alone. Tomorrow needs you. Stay another day. You matter. In the stigma. Content for a cause. Those are all my hashtags that I throw out every day, 10 times a day. So
I'll tell you what. I'm doing right now on our TikTok, I'm doing a historical series where I'm taking haunted locations that we've actually visited. And with your permission, I would like to add the hashtag content for a cause.
Heck yeah, man.
To each one of our TikTok series. I think that would be a good way to support too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can add that on there.
Yeah, please. Anytime you put a hashtag that means something, content for a cause or end the stigma. End the stigma is something I use a lot too, because I feel like that's the problem. People are afraid to tell people they're suffering because they're afraid people are going to look down upon them or they'll lose their job. So end the stigma is a big one as well. So if you want to use that, you can do. It's not. I don't own any of these, by the way. But definitely put all those out there. I think it's anything we can do to help.
Well, a lot of the time back in the day, I don't know how old you are or whatever, and I'm not going to put anybody's age out there, but back in the day, if you were experiencing a mental health crisis, we were actually told not to say anything because it could affect your employment. It could affect your future. Certain mental health diagnoses in your permanent medical record would prevent you from getting jobs that you actually wanted. I know that it was a big thing back in the day, like bipolar disorder. Yeah. You could not be diagnosed with bipolar disorder because you could not be a first responder. You could not go in the military. You could not become a police officer. All the jobs that children are going, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I want to be a policeman. Okay, well, you can't do that with a diagnosis of bipolar disorder.
Yeah, and they have no control.
So then they led to other wording to that. So now it's not, now it's called borderline personality disorder and things like that. But don't be afraid. That's my biggest thing. And for everybody that's watching tonight, Jeremy just put out the disclaimer. I'm going to go ahead and co-sign it. If you ever feel like you just need somebody to talk to, I would rather you reach out. Anybody who knows me knows I'm responsive. My phone is on 24 hours a day. I will talk to you.
I think it's a great thing y'all focus on that. Again, that's a huge problem in our country. We focus so much on things that are not as important. Mental health is probably one of the top problems in our country right now that we have. And it goes so unnoticed. It goes so not talked about. It's almost like a hush-hush thing. We still don't address these mental health issues. And even all the help that's offered out there, it's either A, hard to get, or B, nobody's putting it out there. Nobody talks about it. You scroll a million ads on Facebook. How many of them are mental health? How many people are talking about mental health? Not many. So it's so awesome that you guys are trying to do something about that.
I will tell you something that's really, I think it's a blessing, man. As since we started this, and the amount of friends that I've got and the groups that I've joined, because I just joined groups because they say, hey, join my group, and I join them all. I noticed in the very beginning when we started our group, if I shared something that wasn't specifically paranormal with a group, I would be denied, right? I share stuff with groups every day now that aren't paranormal related at all. They're mental health, but these paranormal groups are like iSpook group and all these people. They're all taking this and approving it and letting it flow through their system. And I don't know if anyone realizes this, but that's amazing. We're talking thousands of people that are seeing these messages where I used to be denied. Now they're like, you know what? We know who beyond the bet. They're doing it for the right reason. Let it go. And so every time I do that, they're saying it's approved, it's approved, it's approved. And I'm like, that's awesome, man. We've actually overcome something already.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. So
yes, Daryl, thank you. And to put a little bit of vulnerability into the end of this show, guys, I had the worst day ever, and I was experiencing some stuff, and I really honestly was battling and going, Sean's going to do this show by himself because I'm not in the right frame of mind, and I'm actually exiting this show feeling better. So, it always kind of helps to hear that you're not alone and there's other people out there that experience stuff. Because in that particular moment, you might feel like you are alone, but you're not. You're not. Yep. And you're not crazy, and you're not, this is just a bad moment, not a bad life.
Yeah. So there's potholes and speed bumps in everybody's journey, man.
Yeah.
But somebody has to tell you that it's okay because there's a smooth road on the other side, and look at this community that we've got now, like that I have been adopted into, this paranormal community, millions of people. And I haven't met a single person in this community that's been against or negative to what our mission is. So
Damn.
if that doesn't tell you anything, if you're struggling, just reach out to your community of paranormal people. Put it out there, like, hey, I need to talk to somebody. Be ready, though, because your daggone phone's going to ring off the hook, and you're going to get a million messages. And
hey, we're up late at night.
That's it. We're ready.
If you can't get me, this insomniac right here will talk to you, because he's up till like 3, 4 in the morning every day.
I'll even give you a hug.
Me, you might get a return call or no, I'm just kidding. If anybody ever really honestly truly reached out and needed me, I don't care what time it is. I really don't. I will sit up and talk to you. And Lord knows, I love to talk.
Yeah, we know.
You can call Emily from Lost Souls too. She likes to talk. Love you, Em. Eddie had a question here for you really quick before we wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm reading it. No, I was not in Texas. I wish I was, though. I love Texas, by the way. No, I wasn't. But I miss seeing you there too, but I wasn't there. I'm hoping maybe next year we'll get there, that would be how cool would that be if we were able to take this message all the way across the country, The only problem is being a full-time fireman and having a family and all that is it's not cheap to get all around the place. And so I'm struggling with that a little bit. But here's my kryptonite. If you say, hey, I got this thing I want you to do, and I'm gonna let you speak about mental health, I say yes before I'm even available to do it. And I make myself available because I feel like God puts me at a spot that you ever heard that the whole thing where like when God tells you to take the leap and if you don't do it, he gets mad at you, he's like, come on, I'm telling you to do it because I'm going to guide you there. And so that's me. It's like,
he'll make a way.
June, you better get your ass to Loretto, Pennsylvania, because you got to be at the Creeping and Real thing. And my wife goes, you got to stop saying yes to all these things. And I'm like, yeah, but what if somebody at that conference, what if somebody at that Paracon is struggling and my message saves them? Like, I have to be there. Like, I'll take off work. I'll take a sick day, whatever. So
that's awesome.
It's a crazy, crazy mission, but we're going to get there. So
that's right. Well, we believe in you, and I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to get on our show. We're the low people on the totem pole, but
we're at the bottom.
No negative talk. You guys are awesome, by the way.
Like, we try to make a difference. If I'm able to reach just one person, just one, then I've done my job.
Well, I think you've done it already. You guys are awesome. So you got a great podcast.
And Ronnie said, save the date for next year's EnigmaCon. He ain't going to let us get out of this, Jeremy.
Oh, no. It was one of the best. It's our first one, and we had the most fun ever. I remember Jess is like, holy shit, I didn't think this was going to be fun at all. I'm like, we had a blast. You know how many people we talked to? Just made friends with.
I like the more quaint, we went to one in Gettysburg, and it was almost like overwhelming. Like I was like, I wanted to go left, right, front, back. People were over here I needed to see. People were over here I needed to see. But when you start doing this more, you're going to start rolling into Paracons, and you're going to see friends.
That's
and then
what we did in Penhurst.
So then you're like, hey.
I was running after people like, hey, don't forget me. But I'm a little bit addicted to talking. So if I am in a crowd, I'm perfectly comfortable. So
there you go.
Yeah. So please, whatever you do, if you see our booth, come over. We will have the greatest conversation. We'll talk about stuff. There'll probably be some handshakes and hugs. And we'll be friends after that. So
awesome. Cool. I love it. Paraunity, guys. Hashtag Paraunity. Hashtag content for a cause.
That's right.
Teaming up right here on HCP Paranormal Podcast. Again, Jeremy, thank you so much. And thank you for everything that you and your team are doing. Definitely, definitely one for the books.
Yep.
So,
it was awesome.
Guys, everybody that tuned in, we appreciate you tonight.
Thank y'all.
And go to beyondthebadgeparanormal.com. Hit that. Yes. Hashtag Paraunity. I'm not going to throw up my game tonight because Sean says that's not a hashtag. But in my world, this is a hashtag.
Whatever. It's all good. We get your point.
We're good. All right, guys. I'm Courtney.
I'm Sean.
We are Hill City Paranormal, and we will see you on the other side.